A ver, esto es Dead Paddle de Rick Sánchez contra el Doctor.
Rick Sanchez, the Doctor.
The Doctor.
Brilliant geniuses dominate the cosmos, but
Bueno, sí, pero uno claramente tiene mejores soluciones. El otro primero la lía y la sigue liando.
who would win an all-out
Y lo curioso es que no saben de qué hablo si no digo algo.
brawl? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Y aquí no aplica la de cuál Doctor, que es la misma encarnación. Es el mismo, él reencarnando. Aquí no aplica.
Everything about Morty Smith's life was perfectly average. Average house, average family, average school.
Maybe slightly below average intelligence.
But everything changed the day his grandpa Rick came home.
Yeah, in style! Cause Rick Sanchez is anything but average.
Rick is easily the smartest man in the universe, and its most dangerous criminal. He spent years on the run from the Galactic Federation, going on adventures across the multiverse.
Who cares about the emotional trauma from abandoning his daughter, right? And then he took her son and put him in life threat.
¿A quién importa? Yo creo que todo internet, la mitad de internet empezó a odiar la serie porque no dan seguimiento al pasado.
Danger. Bye!
Thus formed the greatest duo of the generation, Rick and Morty.
¿Qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo? ¿Por qué se me encendió Netflix? ¿Qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo? La tele se fue a Netflix.
Yeah, mostly Rick. Morty's the cannon fodder who smuggles grapefruit-sized seeds up his ass. And that's just the episode.
Rick is an unbeatable inventor, always ready to face even the squanchiest of alien foes.
He's got your usuals. Laser gun, invisibility belt, shrink ray, cyborg implants, the works.
As well as some weirder things, like a Mr. Meeseeks box, which can summon an infinite number of irritating temporary life forms that will work tirelessly to accomplish a given task.
Or a series of android decoys that are so perfectly created, they don't even realize they're decoys. Which leads them to create decoys that create decoys, and so on.
Rick's gadgets can erase your memories, manipulate and travel through time, and even make a surface true level. Perfectly flat, something normally mathematically impossible. So beautiful that experiencing it for only a moment before returning to non-Euclidean space can emotionally scar you for life.
Me encanta esa reacción de Rick y Morty, que somos todos carniceros de ovejas para el carnicero cósmico. Me encanta esa reacción.
He can even inject you with his own genetic info and instantly chest burst a clone of himself from inside you, like a pasty alcoholic xenomorph.
Rick and Morty travel the universe in the Space Cruiser. Powered by a microverse under the hood, this compact starship comes equipped with laser cannons, a fishing line that can tow a solar system, and a unique artificial intelligence.
No te olvides todo lo que pudo hacer o lo que empezó a hacer por proteger a Summer, como un sistema de ingeniería y clonación ahí metido.
With all that crazy sci-fi gear, Rick and Morty's adventures were absolutely bonkers.
From disentangling a time loop created by alien snakes, to battling the metafictional story lord, to Rick turning himself into a pickle to avoid family therapy.
This guy would rather battle the Russian mafia as a vegetable than address his feelings.
Actually, pickle's a fruit.
Because boy oh boy, does he have a lot of them.
Behind the fart jokes and wubba-lubba-dub-dubs, Rick harbors bitter emotional agony.
King of Shift.
In a completely different universe, the Rick we know had a happy life until another Rick from another universe took it all away, the bastard.
But like me, Rick is a true inventor, and this tragedy spurred him to craft his greatest creation, the portal gun.
My scans indicate it creates holes through all aspects of space-time, allowing Rick to travel anywhere in the multiverse. It sounds exhausting.
It can do more than that. It can slice you in half, set up traps, and even...
Ay.
That's coming out of your paycheck.
Nuh-uh.
Decades of traveling the multiverse hunting down the man who ruined his life darkened Rick's heart. He began to ask himself, if there are an infinite number of universes with an infinite number of each person, how did any individual life matter?
Sounds like he's overthinking it.
Like the time he accidentally turned all of humanity into horrific Cronenbergs. He and Morty had to escape to a parallel universe.
Como me ha encantado que le hayan dado seguimiento a eso. Que de vez en cuando se llegan a asomar por allá y ven el mundo que destruyó. Que el mundo que vimos en la primera temporada es el mundo muerto ese.
Where they swap places.
Pero en Psycho, el personaje que estaba mal diseñado por la peli es el de Freddy Krueger.
with recently deceased versions of themselves. What does that do to a person?
Ah, me están corrigiendo, no era de Stranger Things. Ah, vale, ya.
Make some bad
Comentario de la reacción anterior. Esto lo digo para que el que lo vea en YouTube no diga, ¿de qué hablan?
ass. When Rick found the Interdimensional Council of Ricks, he kicked their teeth in. Like they say, he's the rickest Rick of them all.
That he is. Just touching the hem of his coat can activate his energy shield or even induce instant death. Yes, instant. No, it isn't explained why. Though considering this reaction, it's likely a chemical released through the coat's lining.
Rickest Rick, Wiz! He's dodged an orbital space laser from just a few feet away. He's so smart, he figured out he's in a TV show. Yep, really.
Perhaps most mysterious is Operation Phoenix, a series of clone bodies that his consciousness can be uploaded to upon his death. Despite eventually taking it offline, his mind is still connected to every other Operation Phoenix across the multiverse,
giving him an infinite number of extra lives, even if some of them are shrimps and fascists.
Some of the universe, even numerous alternate timelines. He actually did that just to manipulate the stock market.
Though underneath the drunken god complex, there's still a glimmer of the family man Rick used to be.
Well, as much as he insists that love is just a chemical reaction in the brain, he does care about his daughter and grandkids.
No, el anime no!
Sometimes.
He's taken on an alien Zeus, the president of the United States.
Alien Zeus.
Actual devil, even exiting the bounds of fiction into meta-reality, fighting Jesus H. Leaping Christ himself, and meeting Joseph Campbell. Talk about a hero's journey.
Challenge Rick at your will. He might look like a scrawny, drunken septuagenarian, and he is, but he's also, somehow, the greatest warrior in the universe.
No pongan el anime, por favor!
Balls.
Ian Chesterton and Barbara Wright were just your average school teachers, with a less than average student.
Hay gente que va a aprender del Doctor Who, va a aprender ahorita en este video. En este video aquí, esta es su introducción. Y eso que hemos reaccionado a ¿cuántos? A un grupo de especiales completos de Doctor Who.
Susan was odd, almost like an alien. And when they met her grandfather and his police box, they found out why.
Psycho, ¿cuál es más Deus Ex Batman o el Doctor? Batman ha hecho cosas como reingresar a la atmósfera sin siquiera un traje especial y apenas se rozó la rodilla. Por otro lado, el Doctor detuvo una invasión amenazando con un destornillador.
No, Batman no tiene madre. También está la de los cuernitos con misiles. Para salvarse de unos tiburones, un estanque de tiburones. No, Batman está más jalado. ¿Sabes? ¿Conoces la nueva polémica de MrBeast respecto al personaje Rosanto? O sea, a ver, por MrBeast va saliendo de la política. Oye, ¿en qué acabó lo de las pirámides? ¿Qué pedo? ¿Hubo cargos o qué? Resulta que el último juego era de rol y uno de los NPCs actuó fuera del lugar. MrBeast dijo y admitió que Soifu Rosanto no debió actuar en dicha etapa, pero hubo un fallo de comunicación entre la dirección y los actores. Ay, bueno, es que no he visto últimamente videos de MrBeast.
They were aliens, and that police box was the TARDIS.
Eres un refrito, que no soy refrito, coño.
2 and
why.
They were.
And when they met her grandfather and his police box, they found out why.
They were aliens, and that police box was the TARDIS, a 2-in-1 spaceship and time machine.
Thus, they were whisked away into the stars, kicking off over half a century of timey-wimey adventures with a revolving cast of companions, like Sarah Jane Smith, Rose Tyler, the Brigadier, Amy Pond, and so many more.
Complete with the cheesiest special effects you've ever seen.
This madman with a box had a name he would never tell, and a history he would always run from. He was only known as the Doctor.
Doctor Who?
Exactly.
Doctor Exactly?
The Doctor's origins are shrouded in mystery. We know they were born several thousand years.
Hablando de ingresa a la atmósfera sin traje, entonces ya podemos dar por hecho que Elvis murió en su entrada a la atmósfera o seguimos esperando segunda temporada.
No, creo que ya cancelaron la serie. O sea, no, sí. Hagamos de cuenta que murió ahí.
Years ago and earned degrees in cosmic science and higher dimensional physics.
But he got bored with the stuffy Time Lord bureaucrats, stole a TARDIS, and explored time and space as a runaway. Who can forget those adventures chasing dinosaurs on a spaceship, dueling Robin Hood with a spoon, or shoving Hitler in a closet?
Yeah, we know it's kind of weird. It's British.
But if you don't know who's who, you're probably wondering, who are all these people? A bunch of old guys, young guys, a lady, and one of the Three Stooges. What?
The Doctor is a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey. Time Lords may look human, but couldn't be more different. Not only do they have two hearts, they literally experience time differently. They can see past, present, and future all at once. They can resist temporal phenomena such as time stops and can tamper with fixed points in time. They're effectively acausal beings.
This makes them super hard to predict and nearly impossible to erase from any timeline. They can even breach the bounds of space and talk directly to you. Yes, you at home. Hello there.
Time Lords are practically walking Deus Ex Machinas. In fact, a lot of them would be proud to be
Literal, son Deus Ex Machina caminantes.
called that.
Yeah, the Doc ran away for a reason. Time Lords are a bit dodgy.
The Doctor has hypnotized with a glance, resisted mind control, survived deadly radiation, and even learned transmigration. As in, the ability to summon an object out of thin air. Sounds crazy, but it's apparently standard fare for Time Lord Academy.
But the reason why there are so many doctors is that
Que no lo ha vuelto a usar, pero vale.
Time Lords have a funny way of cheating death.
Upon receiving a fatal wound, the Doctor undergoes regeneration, gaining a new, healthy body.
It's way more than that. While reloading, the Doctor has regrown lost limbs, become strong enough to knock down steel doors, and even weaponized his own time energy.
Downside being, if a Time Lord dies during regeneration, that ends the process permanently.
To date, we've seen 14 versions of the Doctor, plus a few extras mixed in here and there. Hell, by the time you're watching this, you've probably seen the 15th. Or the 16th.
Ojo, ya salió la nueva. Así que el video lo predijo, ¿eh? Ya estamos que en la 16, ¿no?
As each Doctor gains, changes and affects the next Doctor, and the next, and so on. Each Doctor maintains the same memories, but with an all-new personality.
Some like bow ties, some like jelly babies, some kick butt with Venusian karate, and some really hate the monarchy. Probably 'cause they're werewolves.
But they always have one thing in common.
They are British!
Well, one other thing in common. The Doctor always enjoys the thrill of adventure, and they've got plenty of tech to help, like the sonic screwdriver. Utilizing sonic waves to manipulate nearby objects, it can pick locks, cause detonations, and fry circuitry. It's sort of a Swiss Army plot device that can hack its way through most problems.
Una navaja suiza para trabas. Mejor dicho, imposible.
The perfect pacifist tool for resolving conflict.
La mejor arma para un Deus Ex Machina con patas.
The weakness is that it doesn't do wood or turkey, though considering it can destroy machines, disrupt molecules, and even erase memories, I'll take it.
The Doctor doesn't often carry weapons. There's an invisibility watch, a time travel ring, psychic paper that tricks basically everyone, and perception filters that prevents others from noticing certain things, even people.
But the Doc does reluctantly have a few weapons stored away, like the dematerialization gun.
It might look slapped together with Hobby Lobby pipes, but the DMAT can literally erase you from time, as in, it causes you to have never existed in the first place.
But if you never existed, then the gun would have never needed to fire, which means you weren't wiped from existence, which means the gun would need to fire, which means...
Did you say something? That's not the only time erasing tool in the Doctor's box, but we gotta talk about, you know, the box! Shabby blue police box on the outside, incredible time machine that's bigger on the inside. This is the TARDIS.
The time and relative dimension in space is a sentient ship that travels space and time with ease. It's strong enough to tow planets, powerful enough to stop antimatter from destroying the universe, and tough enough to tank lightning from Zeus. Yes, the god Zeus. It can even adjust its interior to an infinite degree, both in terms of space and time.
So, if the TARDIS doesn't like you, you might get lost inside it forever. Don't piss off the TARDIS.
Or any of the Doctor's enemies, some of the universe's deadliest monsters, Cybermen, Zygons, Weeping Angels.
And the Slitheen.
Muy bien, ellos.
Big chunky aliens that took over 10 Downing Street. And couldn't stop farting.
Even when the Doctor prefers not to resort to fisticuffs, he's tough enough to survive bolts of lightning that vaporize an ordinary human. He's even dodged half a dozen disintegration rays, while also improvising several thousand calculations in a matter of nanoseconds.
Yeah, the Doctor's super smart. So smart, his brain once powered a 1,000-year-old supercomputer.
The Doctor's outwitted cosmic entities like the Great Intelligence, the Time Lord Nemesis, the Master, and apparently the original Satan, who isn't even the most frightening alien in the multiverse, because that would be the Daleks.
All right,
Los Daleks.
they may look like
Los que tienen un...
wonders, but
Esa madre.
exterminate anything that gets in their way, even all of space and time, like when they battled the Time Lords to extinction in the last Great Time War.
A war that showed a darker side to the Doctor. Thrust into a conflict that put all of reality at risk, the Doctor became a warrior, a soldier, a killer.
A side of him that had always been there, hiding just under that cheeky grin.
Finally, in a single moment, the Doctor pressed a big red button to end the war and all of Gallifrey once and for all.
As much as he didn't like the Time Lords, the Doctor cares for life above all things. So genociding his own people was the worst thing that could possibly happen.
As the last of the Time Lords, the Doctor proved to be the most dangerous person in the universe. Isolation threatened to turn him into the very type of Time Lord he despised, a master who controls the laws of time.
La ley del tiempo, chica, toma.
Victorious.
And God help your immortal soul if you piss him off. If he's desperate or if you threaten his friends, you won't be prepared for how far he'll go. Like trapping you in every mirror in existence, imprisoning you in the event horizon of a collapsing galaxy, or suspending you in time to be used as a scarecrow.
Fortunately, Gallifrey wasn't destroyed. It turns out the Doctor, all of the Doctors, saved the Time Lords, but just forgot about it until time could catch up to them. It's complicated.
Still, even their biggest L turned out to be a dub in disguise. That's how you know you're fantastic.
But a Doctor's job is never finished. Without witness, without reward, you'll never know when they'll show up to save the day. But if you happen to be up against the Doctor, there's really only one thing you can do. Run.
Jue. No lo había pensado, pero quizás el cabrón
Possibilities.
tiene una oportunidad contra Rick Sánchez.
It's time for a death battle!
Oh, jeez, Rick. It was my fault.
Shut the fuck up, Morty! I knew Time Lords were suicidal morons, but I
Güey, ¿contrataron al cabrón para doblar?
didn't know they never invented rearview mirrors!
Are you sick? You're the one who hit me. Oh, go on, I'm busy.
Son of a bitch, he's ignoring me? Holy, it was ship! Keep Morty safe.
What are you... Uh-oh.
Keep Morty safe.
No. Oh, what did they do to you?
No, pero el que le da voz al doctor, le ha dado voz en audiolibros oficiales.
El planeta con el sol gritón.
Right, fine. Queensbury rules? A bit of Venusian karate?
Keep quipping, asshole. Maybe you'll find a good joke on the ground next to your teeth.
On guard. Oh, this place looks fun. Do they have a little shop? I like little shops.
Ojo, Rick está peleando mi pasivo. Otra vez.
Well, blink as much as you can. They're scared of rapid movement.
Motherfucker.
What?
My balls, sucker.
Yo creí que serían Mystics.
Oh, you brilliant old girl. Switching rooms around. Fantastic.
fun to be the class clown till you get shot. Now hurry up. I got a grandson waiting on me. He won't die an idiot like
Ya suena muy diferente. Al principio me sonó muy parecido a la voz de Rick, pero ya suena muy diferente.
you.
I know your type. The nihilist know-it-all. But through all this wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey rubbish, there's one thing you never quite understood.
No, se va a hacer negro.
And I don't want to go. Quite an impressive craft, Morty. You built it yourself?
I guess so.
Then you've got a bright future ahead. Don't be a cynic.
Ojo, ganó el doctor. No lo vi venir, ¿eh?
If you forget me, I'll haunt your ass.
Who the fuck are you?
KO! Live by the portal, die by the portal.
Let's break this down. First off, Rick and the Doctor could both dodge lasers, making them pretty even, so neither could reliably win a quick draw.
Also, neither have shown any consistent signs of strength all that different from an above-average human.
The Doctor could get a superhuman strength boost during regeneration, but that is fairly incidental. So as far as physical ability is concerned, neither had a significant edge.
But when it comes to weapons, Rick had way more deadly killing machines, a lot of which could wipe out whole planets, galaxies, and more. If he could get the jump on the Doctor, he'd have a good chance of winning.
Of course, their similar speeds meant he probably wasn't getting that opportunity. There's no denying his firepower was superior overall, but that still had to contend with the Doctor's technology.
Yeah, despite all of Rick's crazy inventions, most of which could kill a normal person instantly, the Doctor matched or countered pretty much all of it.
Being a Time Lord meant he could resist any time-warping trickery Rick threw at him, and the sonic screwdriver could hack and even destroy nearly everything Rick had. The Sonic has even disabled teleportation and time travel technology before, making it more than capable of
Buen punto.
Rick's portal gun, which has been hacked in the past.
With that gun, Rick was kind of a sitting duck.
Operation Phoenix makes killing Rick permanently almost impossible. But the Doctor's reality-altering tech like the DMAT meant there would be no Rick left to upload to a new body at all, effectively ending the fight in a single shot. And that was hardly the only reality-warping superweapon the Doctor had access to. The Doctor's technology presented a clear advantage.
Now let's talk ships. This one's pretty clear-cut. The space cruiser was a deadly machine that towed a solar system, but the TARDIS single-handedly held off a universe-destroying event. That's an edge for the Doctor.
But perhaps most important of all was their experience and intelligence.
Rick mastered space and time to the point of becoming a veritable god. But you could say the same for the Doctor, who is way older. It's kind of like the Doctor has been Rickin' for many times longer than Rick himself.
And when push comes to shove, the Doctor is just as experienced of a warrior as Rick ever was, if not more so.
11 spent 900 years battling Daleks, Cybermen, Sontarans, and more on Trenzalore and came out on top.
And don't forget how quickly the Doctor can formulate, calculate, and initiate plans. Like when he dodged half a dozen rays and improvised thousands of calculations in his head to siphon the ray's energy into a teleporter, all in a matter of nanoseconds.
Rick usually relies on being the smartest guy in the room. When he's forced to battle people at his own level, he's often outsmarted, like with the Prime Rick or, gasp, a Morty.
Rick was a formidable genius, but the Doctor's incredible technology, unmatched intelligence, and thousands of years of experience gave him the win.
Ah, geez. I bet Rick was absolutely mortified to lose.
No te vayas.
Hi.
Ojo. A ver, no puedo discutir la lógica de la experiencia. Y de que Rick por lo regular se ve un poco rebasado cuando se encuentra a alguien tan listo como él o más listo que él. Sí, no puedo con esa lógica, la verdad. Morty.